You are now dialed in with the Dial Brothers.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 18, season 2 of the Dialed In Show. Y'all, it is May. Steven, it's the month of May.
I know, time's zooming by.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that we almost are kind of at a year, well, in a way, a year and a half of the Dialed In Show.
Wow. That we've been going. People have been talking about it. You look at the metrics. I don't have the metrics, so I don't know if our audience is growing, if it's plateaued or what.
Yeah, we need to look at it. I don't really look at it often.
Mhm.
Even some of the comments we need to look at, because Mom was telling me about some of the comments about my tattoo that I didn't know because I didn't look at it. But yeah, it's crazy. And I don't go back and watch them. I'm talking about the episodes.
No. I mean, I watch them to clip, but I already know where I'm going to clip it for social media.
But I'm even talking about part of why I wanted to do this was to have like a digital or a visual journal, if you will.
You always got some death in mind.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just to have it's like a journal. It's like a memory thing to say what was going on, both because of what we talk about, both in the world, but then also just in our lives in May of 2024. You know what I mean? Like we legit could go back right now and find the second week in May of last year. What were we talking about?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Man, so we went on a family trip. Mom got her master's. We've said that multiple times. Mom got her master's. We went to the Grand Canyon. Your first time at the Grand Canyon. What did you think?
We talking about the Grand Canyon itself or the trip?
The trip.
Oh,
Y'all, Micah had a culture shock being out west.
Well, first, the Grand Canyon itself was very beautiful. God, thank you. It was I wish, even though I don't have a desire to go back, and I'll explain that in a second. I do wish we were rushing a little bit. And so I wouldn't mind, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't mind just sitting there for an hour.
You could have sat there for an hour.
Just looking at it. Not really. I was ready to go. And the reason I was ready to go is because we had to drive back.
Yeah.
And I remember telling you when we went down that other thing, I was like, all right, by 6 o'clock, I want to go because we got to drive back.
Yeah.
And we can get to that because end up you drove back the majority of the way back. It was at nighttime. So shout out and kudos to God for the Grand Canyon. That was cool. This is Steven's second time, but you went to a different part of it.
Yeah, I mean, Grand Canyon is huge. I went to the part closest to Vegas, so the West Rim. We went to the South Rim. But it's the South Rim now going to West and South. South Rim has more vegetation. Here's where when I went, it was just desert. It wasn't trees and all that jazz that we saw.
I think God did that for me because if we had not gone through that Green Valley,
you put it in your sermon.
Yeah, I probably would have hated it. It was because even the part that we went to Steven's point, at the canyon, there were trees. You know, like I think when you went the first time, there was no.
It wasn't. No.
Yeah. Yeah. If I had what gave me peace and comfort,
they weren't normalcy.
Yes, and they weren't deer. I don't know what they were.
Elk. Well, they weren't they mooses? Moose?
I don't know, but they look like big deer at the canyon, and so God knew I needed that little bit of feeling familiar because that desert stuff is not for me.
Y'all, we got to Phoenix. And Phoenix is a city, and we really didn't even go downtown where you could see actual buildings and the Capitol and all this stuff. But Micah was so shocked that it was just brown, just no grass, no trees, just rocks and dirt.
Give more context when I don't know. You might remember how old you were. That would help me understand how old I was when we went to New Mexico.
I might have been 10, I don't know, 12.
You had to be more than 10
You
because I
were a
wasn't
toddler.
2.
You weren't older than 5.
Yeah, no. My memories are very, very limited. I remember, can't think of her name, on the bus right out there. She gave me some strawberries. And I remember going to like this buffet or some type of restaurant or something when we were out there. But other than that, I don't really remember going to New Mexico.
And you had a nosebleed.
I've throughout my life remember people telling me that, but I don't remember that.
Okay.
A few years ago, I went to Los Angeles, but it was one of those
That's different.
things. It was one, yeah. It was one of those that I went from the airport to the hotel to the convention center and back. It wasn't, and we walked in between those places, but it was still a different vibe. It was a different vibe. So
Mhm.
we land in the desert in
Mhm.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
And it was really cool because our mom and I met Steven there. So we got there about the same time.
Mhm.
Literally, Steven he landed and we were in the process of landing. We got there around the same time. Okay. Get out. And first of all, Phoenix Airport was larger than I thought it would be.
It
It-
is large.
Yeah, I was
Believe me.
comparing it in my mind I was expecting it to be like the one I went to at LAX,
Mhm.
which to me was smaller. Or at the very least, you didn't have to walk through so much. It was,
Phoenix is a lot of walking.
yeah. So, all right, my first introduction to the airport was a little janky because we had to deal with mom and all this other kind of stuff. Okay, so we get out and we get on this dadgum train, and
The
I'm not
train
afraid
was
of
normal.
heights, y'all.
You were scared of the doggone train to that rental car place.
And I'm not afraid of heights or
It's just a
anything, but
regular train.
I ain't like that
It wasn't a
train.
MARTA train, but it's a regular airport train.
I didn't like that train. The way that it was curving and the stuff was too close to it. I didn't like that train. So get the rental car, which that's a whole nother story within itself. But get the rental car, not the car that I asked for, but get the rental car.
Mhm.
And get the driving. And I'm looking around.
I should have made you go downtown so you can see buildings.
Where in the world are
We
we?
stayed in Glendale, which is a suburb of Phoenix, which is where the NFL team plays.
So literally looking around and there's nothing.
Micah's like, you said, quote, it looks like a third world country, is what you
Well,
said.
it did. It did. And then all the houses, they have no creativity out there. All the houses look like dirt.
The
And I'm not
color of
saying
dirt. They don't look like dirt.
Yeah, the color of them.
Mhm.
Rocks everywhere, but I guess because they don't have no grass.
Mhm.
I felt bad for the animals, for the birds and stuff. Wasn't no
Those
trees to
animals
land in.
are native to that area. They're
It-
fine.
I did not like the area. I didn't like the area. And then, you have to be careful what you say because stuff is so.
You like
offensive.
Glendale,
I like Glendale.
where the hotel was. Which is
That was only because
had a lot of shops and stuff.
if that stadium had not been there, it would suck. And I say that because if the stadium wasn't there, all those stores, the outlet and stuff, that stuff would not be there.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine trying to go stay at that hotel. That hotel might not have even been there, but I can't imagine trying to go stay at that hotel because we were going to Grand Canyon's graduation
Mhm.
and all that other stuff wasn't there.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Then we go to lunch. Micah is criticizing the tap water, y'all.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
The water was fine.
Their water is nasty.
It was no difference.
Yes, it was. It was a difference.
What was the difference, Micah?
One, y'all ever drunk thick water?
No.
Yes, you have.
No.
It was okay. Matter of fact, Kroger water is paper water. It's thin water. Okay, and I drink it. I don't have no issue with it. But I'm just saying, is Dasani's a little thicker. Dasani's more smooth. But you drink like is it Aquafina or no Deer Park? I think it is. Deer Park is like a thick water. Their water is a thick water with a little twang to it.
There
And
was no twang.
I did not
I've
like it.
lived in cities where the water smells.
Oh, I
That
can
water
believe that.
was fine.
Yeah, I'm just giving my review of Phoenix, specifically Glendale, Arizona. I don't have to ever go again in my life. It just there was nothing appealing about it.
It's different. It's different. Um, I'm happy that we had that memory with mom at
Yeah,
the Grand Canyon. That was good. I'm happy y'all got to see it. We all got to see it together. It was my second time, but seeing it with y'all, that was cool.
yeah. Because think about it like this: before we went, and I only said this to myself, I never have been anywhere outside of Georgia, outside of Atlanta, that made me say to myself, I wouldn't mind living here. I've never been anywhere and I got that feeling. And
Mhm.
before we went to Arizona, I said, I hope I get that. Not that I want to move to Arizona, but I said, I hope I get that feeling when I get out there.
Yeah, you definitely did not.
No, not at all. You can pay me. I mean, I guess if I was like a,
Micah said multiple times, "I'm ready to go home."
yeah,
Like, dog, man.
yeah. I think every point of transition, I said it. Like we get in the elevator, I'm like, I'm ready to go home. I don't like it out here. Mm-mm.
It's terrible.
It
But
was,
we had a good trip. Mom had a good time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you can stay indoors,
It wasn't even that hot.
not even because of the temperature, just because if you want somewhere to go and be depressed,
It is not depressing. It is a different
go
type of life. It's not depressing.
go to the desert. There's nothing there. there's nothing there. It's like what in the world? Like this I didn't like it. I didn't like the city, the that part of the country.
Dog.
Nothing against the people. We had a phenomenal. His name was Gary or Gary, however you want to say it,
Gray
Garay, whatever.
was Gary.
Phenomenal waiter. Erin, she was all right. She wasn't all that, but Gary, he was great. He works on bikes and he just works at the restaurant part time. So shout out to him. If you ever need a bike repaired, go to Glendale and ask for Gary at Yard House. But they had great now that little pocket. If you just went to just that,
It was like the Battery.
yeah, you could just stay there and have a great time.
Mhm.
Especially if, even though there'd probably be a whole lot more people, if it was like a game,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
the stadium was literally right outside of our window.
literally, like you
Yeah.
could walk. It was across the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ain't no telling, like you said, how much those hotel rooms would have been if.
You went to Jack in the Box for the first time.
Yeah, and they took long, but the food was good. The burger was good. I had like a double cheeseburger with bacon. The burger was good, and the Brewsters, they had Brewsters, and that was an
I should
experience.
not have done that doggone non-dairy. It was not good.
I thought it was all right.
No, it wasn't. No. Okay.
Overall, Phoenix checked off the list. I would be willing to go to, well, I don't know, because you said wasn't no trees the other way.
You would need to fly directly to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
You don't want no journey to the Grand Canyon. You just want to get there.
Y'all,
Grand
it was
Canyon
a 3.5 hour drive from Phoenix to the
from where we
southern
are.
rim, south rim. I drove there. Steven drove about 2 or 2.5 hours back, and it was nighttime. And y'all, you going through the mountains, it's a journey. But all those type of things are great for memories. Great for that's why you need to have bad moments on your trips, because those are things that years later you talk about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. All right, that was our trip to Phoenix. A good time. All right, we've been doing this one has to go every episode now, so we're going to do it now. I think I know what you're going to pick. All right, one has to go. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Martin, Family Matters, or A Different World.
Very easy for me.
It's easy for me.
A Different World.
Family
You gonna
Matters.
say Family Matters?
Yeah, I love A Different World. It's different. It's HBCU. It's college life. Why are you looking like that?
I can't say it out loud.
Oh, okay.
Up under a different world. I was trying to see what the word was, and it looked like a
Gorilla?
different word. I'm like, what in the world?
Oh, I don't know what that is.
But do you see
That's
the word that I thought
yeah.
it was?
I got it from. I stole it from somewhere. So you would get rid of a different world. Now, did you actually watch a different world? Have you watched a different world?
Yeah, when
I
I was
still
younger,
watch
I
it.
remember seeing old episodes of it, but out of those four, that's the one that I would have to take away. I used to like watching Urkel and
I did too. I just of those four, I would
because what the man named Mr. Carlo? What the name?
Carl Winslow.
Winslow.
Mhm.
Um, wasn't his name Carl?
Carl Winslow.
Yeah, I said Carlo. Uh, yeah. So yeah, no, different world got to go. And then what's the name with a squeaky voice? That used to get annoying.
Dwayne.
Yeah, that was annoying. But
Okay,
what's
whatever.
your favorite out of those four?
It has to be Fresh Prince. Fresh Prince is my
Mm.
show. Love it, love it, love it. If I had to rate them, I would do Fresh Prince, Martin, Different World, Family Matters. If you had to rate them, what would it be? Martin's good.
I would say, yeah, it's tough between Fresh Prince and Martin, but I would probably have to say Martin, number one.
Mm.
Fresh Prince 2, Family Matters 3, and Different World 4
Mm.
is the way that I would rank them. But and out of those four, well, no, Fresh Prince was a family show. Never mind. I was about to say
Family
Family Matters
Matters
was
is
the
a
only
family
family
show.
show.
What you mean?
Hmm?
Family Matters is a family show.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. No, 'cause I was about to say Family Matters was the only family show, but no, it wasn't. Fresh
Oh.
Prince was a family show.
Mhm.
Like Bill Cosby and Full House. Now we get into the white genre, but you know, it if the Cosby Show was in here, but I don't even think you could put that in here. There was a different vibe. But if the Cosby Show was in here, would Family Matters still be last for you?
Like if it was 5 instead of 4?
Yeah.
I don't know, because Family Matters is good. I'm not saying it was bad. I just, I mean, I watched the Cosby Show, but I ain't gotta watch the Cosby Show. Like,
Mm.
I watched it. There are funny episodes. Hmm, I don't know. Where would Cosby Show fit in yours?
It might would have to go before Family Matters. I used to watch the Cosby Show a lot.
I mean, I still watch these shows like daily,
Uh,
weekly.
yeah. So
Every show that you listed, I watch at least once a week.
A Different World, just I'm not saying I don't like it. It's just out of those four, it can I ain't never gonna see it again.
It's Phoenix for you, huh?
Because what's Living Single? Is that the show I'm thinking about?
Yeah. I watch
Um,
Living Single one at least once a week.
that's another one. And I think the other thing for me,
And if you go back and watch it now, you'll
yeah,
appreciate it.
that's what I was about to say. I think for me, the age I was
Mhm.
living single in a different world.
Right. Like I used to didn't watch Living Single. Now I watch it all the time.
Yeah, when I was
You have
young,
a
I
different
don't think.
appreciation.
Yeah, I couldn't relate at all. But the other ones were funny. Not saying that those weren't funny,
Mhm.
but
But see, now
yeah,
as an adult, you'll find in Living Single or certain shows funny.
yeah, because you couldn't like Martin and Will Smith and Urkel.
Mhm.
You their characters, you couldn't help but laugh.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
funny.
Now it's interesting, and this is like multi-generational of we were in the hotel and we were watching Golden Girls. Like I know
Mhm.
so many black people who watch Golden Girls. Like it's a good show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is funny watching Golden Girls like 3 generations. Well, we're not 3 generations, are we?
Too, but I see what you're trying
Yeah.
to say. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were all born in different decades.
Well, I would hope so, Micah.
Well, me and you could have potentially been in the same
Well,
decade.
yeah, but I'm talking about your mom.
No, well, yeah. If you and your mama was born the same decade, that's illegal. That is a problem.
Dumb.
But yeah, Golden Girls, all those shows, Sanford and Son, Good Times,
Mhm.
all that stuff. Those are classics. Those are
Okay,
things.
what would you pick? Sanford and Son or Good Times?
Probably Sanford and Son.
Me too. Like I watched Good Times. I like it, but
But then Good Times also made you feel depressed as a black person.
yeah.
I'm saying it was I don't know. Sanford and Son, he ain't have nothing, but he was happy in a way, in his angry
Sanford and
way.
Son or the Jeffersons?
Oh no, Jefferson's. Now that was my show. Jefferson's, because I wanted to be George Jefferson. I wanted to own dry cleaners. Yeah, no, that was different. Jefferson, Sanford and Son, Good Times. It's another one that's black around that. Can't think right now, but when you think about shows like, remember the Steve Harvey Show and the Bernie Mac Show, I think Steve Harvey Show was better.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac Show had its own style, but Steve Harvey Show was better. Mr. Hightower. Yeah. Oh, they don't make shows like these shows anymore.
Nowadays shows are more like movies. You know what I'm saying? There are many movies. Like I just finished binge watching the new season of White Lotus. Like those are shows, but it seemed like a movie.
What's White Lotus?
It's a show on HBO. It's good. It's like these people are on like vacation, and it's in a different country every season, but like something bad always happens. Like somebody get killed or something. It's cool. You gotta check it out. All right, so there's this.
I have HBO.
There's this trend that has been going around social media. Sports teams have been talking about it. Regular people have been talking about it. We're gonna pose the question and get Micah's take on it. Everything Micah says is weird. Who do you think 100 men could kill a gorilla? Like 100 men versus a gorilla, who do you think will win?
I think 100 unified men. Yes.
What do you mean?
Because if I'm number 100, I might step away.
Well, if I agreed to do it, I would be number 90. Like, let the gorilla kill a couple of people. And then,
yeah, because whoever on the front line, you gonna die.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah. So, but I think 100 men. And when I say unified, I'm saying like they would have to, or the vast majority of them would have
a
to
plan.
Really jump on him, because one swing he could knock several people over.
Man.
So he could just be going through them. But I think if some from the front, some from the side to back, and they would have to, first of all, be able to hold him down. And then you need somebody to kill him.
At least 30 people are dying.
You're going to be hurt. Yeah. But I've not seen this.
Really? Sports teams have been asked about it. It's just, I've seen it in a lot of places. 100 men versus a gorilla, who wins? A gorilla is strong.
Definitely not basketball, because there's only like 10, 12 of them, whatever. Could a
football team beat up a gorilla?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 60 people on a football team or something?
And they got on pads and helmets.
You're going to need pads and helmets.
You would think, like, no joke, you would think 50, 60 grown, physically fit men could take on a gorilla.
You know how big a gorilla is?
Yeah, but do you know how big 50 NFL players are?
Strong a gorilla is?
I think that's like, some of them gonna have to take a L, but I think they could do it.
You think a football team could kill a gorilla?
Yeah.
Football teams have some skinny people on it too. Like
the kicker, he's not gonna play. He's not gonna participate. But I think what you got to do, get your linemen to just try and hold them down. Get all your linemen and just lay on them.
So they're gonna be the sacrifice.
Yeah, get them to tackle them and lay on them. You get, I don't know, maybe total of 12 of them.
Mm-hmm.
They weigh a gorilla.
Yeah.
So, go get them to take them down, and then you get everybody else to come and beat them up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it could be done. And then if you just, for the heck of it, get the kicker to come kick his head. just come just kick. Now, hey, kickers got good foot strength, leg strength.
I would hope so. That's their job.
Yeah, so I mean, just imagine getting kicked in the head by a kicker.
Oh, so that'd be the final blow,
Yeah.
huh?
I can't stand seeing a kicker who don't kick the ball through the thing.
That's like saying I can't stand seeing a quarterback miss a pass.
That's
What do you mean?
different. That's
No, it's
different.
not.
Yes, it
Y'all,
is.
people give so much flack to kickers, and that's the only thing you do. Okay, shit. The only thing a receiver does is catch. The only thing a
But there
quarterback
are
does is
far
throw.
more variables. A
What
receiver
I'm
is
saying is, so just because I'm a professional kicker, I'm supposed to hit a 60-yard field goal?
if they
No.
don't block it, why not?
Okay, so quarterback should be.
No, it's different.
How's it
Ain't
different?
nobody.
Okay, if your job is to tackle, how you miss tackles? You get paid millions of dollars to tackle. How you miss tackles?
What I'm saying, in a perfect scenario,
Mm-hmm.
especially
In a perfect scenario, everything
on.
could go right. What are you doing?
You don't hear that?
Mm-mm. What are you doing?
Oh Lord.
What?
I heard again, for context, everybody, we record in the mornings. I heard a bunch of screaming, and sometimes you hear little kids and everything, they going to school or whatever, but this screaming was different. That's why I'm like, you don't hear that? It was like a real scream, and it's a girl, and it's just like and I look out the window right across the street. What's the name? Got a new pit bull, or it's some kind of bulldog, but it's fat and it's pregnant. You know how the dogs like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It is a little girl. She might be 5 or 6. She's running from the dog, and the mom is trying to get the dog. And Miss what's the name is trying. That's all. Dang, I hate I didn't get up faster. So it was a girl running from a dog. That's what the screams
You
were.
didn't hear that? I'm thinking you about it. You having an ambush or something. Like what?
It's not. But if you could, I wish y'all could have heard it. It was so loud.
Well, we did not hear it. You just looked weird. You said, "Y'all, hold on, you hear that?" No, I don't.
Well, these mics are good.
Yeah.
It was loud.
My camera guy was giving me flack. So we were in the country Monday for a story. This man who allegedly killed a person execution style in 2023. He was supposed to be in court Monday for jury selection for his trial to start. He cut his ankle monitor and ran away. Set a fire on his house and ran away. So the search was in a neighboring county to where the court was, in a rural part of Texas. And, rural sheriffs and law enforcement, people in the country talk different. And so me and my photographer couldn't find where the search was. And so I called the sheriff. I was like, "Hey, sheriff, can you tell me where y'all was?" And he said, "Yeah, you go on the main road and then turn right." And then just said that and hung up. And I'm like, that didn't really give me much. But my photographer was laughing because when he said turn right, I just looked to the right. My photographer was like, "You don't know what road we're on." All right, to go back to what we were saying. Your criticism of kickers, you can't just say that's the only job you do, because everyone's only job is their job on the field.
I think the reason why people say what they say about kickers is because in a perfect scenario where
Nothing's
they're
perfect.
where their teammates, it's perfect more often than not.
Mhm.
Well, with this part that I'm talking about,
Mhm.
especially if you're in a closed stadium, so you can't blame it on the wind or the
Mhm.
weather. Okay, if your teammates do what they're supposed to do and they block everybody for you, there's no reason you should miss. Not if we're comparing it to a
There's
wide receiver.
weather, there's pressure, there's nerves.
But you just supposed to. You are a professional.
Okay, so you're a professional quarterback, you're a professional running back.
But
You're a professional. You shouldn't fumble the ball. You shouldn't drop the ball. You shouldn't drop the ball when you catch the ball. You can say that about anything.
no,
Why is there so much more criticism on a kicker than someone else doing their professional job?
Because if everybody else does their job, which often they do,
That's not true.
they do more often than not block the what am I trying to say? I don't know the exact statistics, but
But
how
what
do
I'm
you
saying
word
is,
it?
okay, if everyone blocks for the kicker properly, there's still wind, there's still distance, there's still nerves. What do you mean?
I guess what I'm saying is a kicker gets in the game to kick a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
How many times in a game?
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot. It's not
Okay.
okay, not a lot. So if all week everything you do, even if it's just cardio, everything you do is to prepare you to kick this ball through these two yellow poles.
Mm-hmm.
If your team does what they're supposed to do, why are you missing? If pressure's getting to you that
Because there
much,
is wind, there is weather, there is distance. What do you not
and
understand?
to be fair, I said you in a closed stadium. I'm talking about kickers who
There
miss
is
and then
distance, there is pressure.
well, if you under that much pressure to where you can't come kick this gum ball, you the wrong person for us. You need to go somewhere else. I
So
just
you can
think
say that about the quarterback. You can say that about the running
no.
back. You can say that about anyone.
Nobody. The
If
running
everybody
back is
blocks
running
for you, why
into
you ain't
people.
running the touchdown on the first try?
The
Like
running
that's what you're saying.
the running back is running into people. The quarterback is passing into a sea of
And the
confusion.
kicker is kicking between a little space.
But that's all they practice. That's
Okay. So every kicker should just hit every field goal ever in their life because that's all they practice.
no. In a closed stadium
Hmm.
where your team is blocking for you, you should not miss. That's just like, and I don't even think this is the same comparison because it's not like you have a free throw shooter and that's all they do. That doesn't exist in basketball. So I
Hmm.
don't think it's fair to do the same comparison to say that all basketball players should not miss free throws because they do a
That's like
whole bunch
saying,
of
okay,
stuff.
all pitchers do is pitch. So they should only throw strikes. No.
No, because again, and we talk about wind, all this other kind of stuff. You talk about fatigue. They pitching a lot.
Not
The
really.
kicker. I'm saying
The
compared
pitcher
to the
may pitch
kicker.
twice a week.
No, what I'm saying is in a game,
Hmm.
they're doing a lot more action than a kicker
Hmm.
is.
Hmm.
Kicker, when you come out here, you should be ready. I'm just saying, people have lost major games,
Yeah.
and then let's talk about this too. It's not just the kicker's fault because what have y'all done the whole game that
Yeah.
led to you to not have the points you need?
Hmm.
But people have lost games because at the end, the kicker didn't make a dadgum field goal.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. All right. Let's round out the show talking about something that people are talking about this week. The Trump administration is, I don't know if this is actually happening, but thinking about offering illegals $1,000 to self deport. Is $1,000 enough to leave the country that you live in illegally? Let's be honest. I'm not going to take $1,000 to leave. You got to give me a little bit more than that. I'm sorry.
Well, I think first of all, okay, I guess the word is illegal that they are.
They are illegal. They are not in the country legally. Undocumented, whatever you want to say. They're
Okay.
not in the country legally.
So these undocumented persons,
Hmm.
I think if the alternative is to be deported,
But what if you don't get caught?
oh, you saying don't like go volunteer, say, hey, I'm here illegally.
They're not going to deport everybody. And if they are going by their word, their focus right now is on criminals. Now, depending on who you talk to, some Republicans say all of them are criminals because they are in the country illegally. But that's why they use the term violent criminals.
Mm. Yes, in the grand scheme of things, $1,000 ain't no money.
No.
You-
To leave the country that you intentionally came to. No.
yeah. Especially for some of them, you're telling me you can give me $1,000 to go back to a civil war, or you know,
Mhm.
doesn't make logical sense.
Mm.
Because I don't know really anywhere in the country where you can stay in a safe place by yourself, and I'm not talking about like splitting rent with somebody else, and you
Mhm.
paying less than $1,000 a month to live there
Mm.
in a safe place.
Mhm.
So $1,000 ain't no money. Yeah,
To self-deport.
nah, yeah, just self-deport. Yeah, nah, that ain't no money. I'm interested. It's interesting to me that this is even an offer, because that to me seems like they're trying to trick people into snitching on themselves. It's like, we can't find you, so here go $1,000. Tell us where you are. You know, and then they don't give them the $1,000.
No, they'll probably give him the $1,000.
I don't know if you.
He'll be
That's
like,
like
"Go on."
saying, because like I say, some people say that they're all criminals. So that's
Mhm.
like saying, uh, somebody broke into a car in South Dallas. We'll give you $5,000 if you turn yourself in. So you come and say, I'm the one who broke into the cars.
Mhm.
No, they just about to arrest you. They're not gonna give you no $5,000. Like, no.
Mm.
So, because then here's why it also don't make sense. Or they're gonna take the money back. I'm gonna give you $1,000 and then I got to pay to send you back. Like, no.
But that's going with their effort of getting people out of the country. So it's an incentive.
Then 47. How cool is it? And now, I'm not a Trump supporter or fan, but how cool is it how a lot of presidents, we call them 44, which was Obama, 46, Biden, you know, we call them by their numbers. And only a Trump could have this and love this. He get two numbers,
Mhm.
45 and 47.
Yeah.
It is this, but
Yeah. It's cool.
45 and 7 is talking about reopening Alcatraz.
Mhm.
They just letting the man do anything you want to do.
He's the president.
And he not paying these judges no attention. Then I watched his Meet the Press interview with, I don't know the lady name.
Kristen Welker.
Yeah. I think he like her. He don't like her, but I
Yeah,
think
he liked talking to her, but he'd be criticizing her.
yeah.
I think so too.
He told her, she said, well, Mr. President, talking about how all these judges that he appointed, and you know, he said, isn't it something how people change? Isn't it something how people change? Because he's talking about the Supreme Court, and she said, well, 3 of them you appointed and they voted for you. And the way he talks is, to me,
He was talking there because I forgot this topic, but he was like, I don't think so. I don't know.
yeah. And sometimes it's like he be running out of breath. He like whispers. It's hilarious to me. And he said,
No.
he said, why you keep talking about the bag? He said, you say some Wall Street. He said, well, some say it's
Well,
gonna be
then
good.
she said, when does it become the Trump economy? He was like,
Mm.
well, the good parts are the Trump economy, the bad.
The bad parts are the Biden economy.
Yeah.
He's something else.
Mm.
And now he's saying he's not going to run for a third term. And
Mhm.
he made a stupid comment, and I don't know if it was in that or something else. And he said, they asked him, does he have to uphold the Constitution? He told me he don't know.
Mhm.
The governor of Georgia.
I know. I was going to put that in the rundown. Brian Kemp disappointed some Republicans because Georgia has 2 Democratic senators. John Ossoff is coming up for re-election, and Brian Kemp would be a huge challenger to him. Kemp said, I looked at it for me and my family, and it's not a good time.
He claims he talked to President Trump and the Senate leadership, and they all are together on finding somebody else. But I think he would have been a great option for them.
Oh, yeah.
He's
So
already
now
won
what?
statewide elections twice. People, at least Republicans in Georgia, they like Brian Kemp.
Mhm.
Why, I don't know, because he don't do anything. But they like him, and I think he would have given Ossoff a run for his money. I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So let's see who Georgia puts up. Did Keisha officially announce yet?
She keeps. I don't think she's
Or
made the
teasing?
official announcement, but she's running. She just last week went and did some type of paperwork that made it official for her to start being able to accept donations. But she still hasn't flat out herself said, like, I'm running for governor. But she is. I don't know who the Republicans are going to put up to run against her. What I do hope, though, to be honest with you, Democrats, we don't need to put anybody else up. I'm talking about against Keisha.
Well, that ain't gonna matter.
But I'm just saying we need to be unified from the beginning. If this is who it's gonna be, let's run with her. Put all our cards, push all our chips in on her, and either we win or we don't. Probably not. We need if it's gonna be a woman, we needed a white woman. If it was gonna be a woman, but it's interesting to see. It'll probably end up being somebody who comes up through the state legislature, like Kemp did, who will run for governor. Some white man.
We'll see.
People were trying to get, and this was stupid, but his name not Brian Carter. I'm thinking about
Raffensperger, or
no, Jimmy Carter grandson who ran before.
Yeah.
But he said no, his wife has brain cancer, I think it is. And he's saying no. Man, I can't think of her name. Brian Kemp's wife. She told him, she said, we are not doing that. she's I'm tired of
you are just fine.
Then think about that. That's a whole different kind of commitment because you got to keep going to DC. That's a different job. At least with governor, you still in the state.
Yeah.
When is are there term limits for? Well, let me not say with
Texas governor. No,
I would say let me not say with Representative.
And it's crazy. Until it's so crazy until. I think I'm gonna get it wrong now. In Texas, until it wasn't Bush, so it had to be Rick Perry. There had never been a 2-term governor. Like in a while, like a long time, like decades.
Wow.
I think it's 2-term or 3-term. 2-term. They just served for 4 years and like did something else, or like it was a woman. The last Democrat governor in Texas was a woman, and she was the governor who lost to George Bush. But yeah, there's never been 2 terms. So it's like,
is the 3rd term for? I keep wanting to call him what Jasmine Crockett called him.
He will. Yeah, this would be his 3rd term election coming up. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Dialed In Show.
Bye. See y'all.
You didn't get out. See you same time, same place next week.